All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for our podcast number 50. Woo!
All right,
guys, this is number 50 on our podcast. Thank you all so much for watching these. It's been fun. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun.
And it's kind of crazy that we're even able to do this.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, a lot of things about the podcast, everything is ridiculous, but also just kind of the support you guys have given us throughout the channel's history.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much on Patreon, on Discord, just in everything. Thank you all so much. This is kind of like our thank you shortened podcast update kind of thing, where we're going to be talking about some things that you can kind of look forward to seeing more of, and some new things in the future. But thank you guys for over 50,000 YouTube subs. That's really awesome. We want to give a special shout out to one of our VIP patrons, Jacob V. Thank you so much. Oh yes, very excellent name. I have no idea why, but I appreciate the name. Yes,
it's classy.
Yeah, thank you so much for your tremendous, gracious support on Patreon. It means a lot, dude. Thank you so much for joining the Discord recently. Glad to have you there. So first things first, we've kind of teased this, I think more so on our Discord than YouTube specifically, but we're in the process of getting a Twitch running. Yeah. So what that means basically for you guys is there's going to be some content that you will begin to see show up on this Twitch, which by the way is in the description.
Yes.
So go check it out. You can hit the little follow button there. I'm not that familiar with how Twitch works and everything like that. I've got the gist of it kind of in my head and stuff.
And I know even less.
Yeah, so we'll be kind of figuring that whole thing out there with you.
Whole new experience with you guys.
The gist of it is, though, is you will not be seeing any Twitch content for at least a month until we get into October.
Because that's when the official time for it is.
Right, but what are some things that they can expect to see there, Jacob?
Well, some of you guys may have noticed that we are coming up to the end of Berserk, and in that last unboxing, someone sent us a lot of the One Piece manga. Yeah. So, the way we kind of go through that, and on Twitch, that would be kind of like a great way to do it, because then, you can get that nice back and forth interaction with the fans, and, do all of that stuff, and you can see our reactions and how we process it.
Yes, it'll be a lot more of a live kind of reaction, conversational experience as we kind of are, actually holding the manga and being like, whoa, that just happened, and kind of talk about it with you guys in the middle of the actual stream and stuff. So something we'll be looking at, it's something to try out there. But also specifically to the podcast, we've been looking at ways in which we can evolve it. And one of the best ways we think we can evolve it is interaction. So the podcast, once the Twitch is up, that will be the first bit of consistent content actually made available on the Twitch. So we'll be able to have the podcast going as we normally do, which, as you know, we don't really edit these. This is just us talking, and that's what we normally do. So why not have it live? Do it live, and we'll be able to chat with you guys and take your questions as the podcast is going. And I think that's a much better overall experience for both you guys and us, because then, the questions, you get to see us go like, oh, that question.
Oh my.
Or be like, and just stumped there, because we can take time to answer your question or something like that.
One of the things, though, that in order to actually do Twitch and do it properly is we need to upgrade our rigs, because surprise, this entire channel has been run off computers that we built 5 years ago. So, but because of your guys' amazing support and everything, we actually can go out and get good computers that can actually be workhorses.
Thank you so much. We've already upgraded a bunch of little things here and there and behind the scenes stuff.
But now it's okay.
But we're going to be stepping it up a notch and looking at potentially a place where we can have a dedicated spot for that kind of stuff. So thank you so much. But that's going to be coming, and that'll be kind of exciting to see, because I think that when that happens, we might be seeing more freeform content from us as individuals as well.
Yeah, that's one of the other things that works a lot better with Twitch. And by the way, so if you guys haven't ever looked up this stuff, this is nerdy stuff right here. But since we needed to upgrade our rigs, it's okay, well, what's the good stuff to go to? And there's these processors that AMD has been coming out with that, oh boy,
He's all about
cool.
that. He's all about that Threadripper action.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those are way too big for personal computers.
But some of them, it's like, okay, we actually have an excuse where we could utilize some of those. So it's
But I want to shout out a personal victory that's tied to this Twitch announcement. Is that, guys, many of you know, and a lot of you don't know, Jacob swore off video games when he was writing his book. The thing is, he is still writing his book.
Right.
But I managed to find a game that I was able to convince him that we could play co-op. And that will be our first ever official Semblance of Sanity Let's Play. I'm not going to tell you what the game is. If you're on Discord, you already know what the game is.
Because he's been kind of freaking out about the fact that he got me to agree to it.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. But specifically for this next podcast, we're still going to be in the month of September and stuff. We'll still be doing podcasts here on YouTube and stuff. We want to get your guys' feedback specifically on things you would like to see in the Twitch moving forward.
Right.
What is that one thing that you've always wanted to see us do live? What are some of those things that you'd be like, this would be perfect for them to do? Or just general questions about the Twitch overall. And then, of course, general questions that you always want to ask us. Leave them in the comments down below as usual. And get excited, guys. We're going to be doing it live. Live. Also, this is a fun little thing that's not in our little notes here. This is a fun way for us to have guests come in via audio and kind of, interview them on the cuff or just have more discussions and stuff. But with the new rigs and stuff, it'll also be a lot easier
Exactly.
as well. This is more of a channel update. A lot of you guys have been noticing that a lot of our videos are getting copyright claimed.
It sucks.
It sucks. The gist of it is there's nothing we can do. Right now, YouTube's algorithm has changed a little bit, and a lot of stuff that has episode footage in it is just getting copyright claimed and blocked, and disputes are not working. Specifically with MHA, we just found out yesterday that, or I think it was actually 2 days ago, that the dispute process is not going to work. With a bunch of other shows, we did get some success. It was able to work pretty well. But with MHA is not going to work. So what we might be seeing is a lot more timer-based reactions. And I know that that's not necessarily your guys' favorite thing, but on the one hand, what that might end up leading to are some changes with how we do full lengths. So look forward to essentially more reactions from us, but maybe a slightly different delivery medium. So bear with us as we adjust and figure out a solution that works best for everyone.
And like the MHA ones, the ones that have been blocked, we'll be working on getting those back up with the full lengths and discussion and all that.
I'll be getting them worked on getting re-uploaded, and more so than just kind of making the full lengths public, but actually putting them and editing them together. That will take a little bit of time. But I'm sorry about the delay on those guys. And for those of you that weren't able to see them, that's the gist of it. It sucks, and something we're just gonna have to work with.
But on a positive
note, for those of you that were around in May this year, but for those of you that also weren't, there's something that's coming back very soon.
Because it was kind of popular.
Yes. So one of the things that we've been doing on our Discord is encouraging some kind of interaction of sorts and collaborative events that focus around just goofy fun. And this month, they're coming back. So we've dubbed them in the Discord just faction events. So what this means, though, is just manic, crazy, fandom-based fun. So if you want to be involved in that and you're already in the Discord, ask around there, like, what are factions? What's going on?
Someone will tell you. What were the crazy things that happened last time?
What were the crazy things that happened in May if you're on the Discord already and don't know what that is? And if you're not in the Discord, consider checking it out. Any level of Patreon support gets you access to it for even as low as $1. And we'll be doing some fun things that'll be starting to come up in the next couple weeks or so. So stay tuned for that. Now this is something that is kind of a teaser.
But you guys, we've talked to you guys about it a bit. But
we haven't really had a solid structure by which we could give you then some info as to what it'll look like exactly. But let me paint the picture for you, and Jacob, you can help me out with this. Imagine, if you will, if we ended up creating our own show.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the kind of show that would end up being like an anime or something that even people would...
Because we can't do animation and all that stuff.
No. But you all know that we are huge fans of storytelling in all its forms. One of the ideas we've always had on our wall of crazy is finding some way to make a more community-based, interactive kind of choose-your-own-adventure story.
Right, and if you might remember, that was one of our tiers on Patreon that got, because the Patreon blew up.
Yes.
We were not
expecting that much support so quickly, but... We did not forget about these things, guys. Some of them have ended up getting put on the back burner. Rest in peace, Daily Dose of Kamina. But it'll come. It'll come eventually. Right, exactly. But this one we might be seeing a little bit sooner. And specifically, we might be seeing some specific kind of teasers of it coming in the coming months. So be on the lookout for news regarding that. If you're on the Discord, you might have already heard a couple rumblings of specific kind of things that happened in the last couple weeks or so.
It's gonna be fun.
If not, just know it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be our first official kind of story-based creative content that will require people outside of us in the actual production process. So if that doesn't get you a little bit excited, that's okay. This might not be for you, but for those that are. Stay tuned for news about that. Of course, if you want the earliest news on that, being on the Discord is probably the best way to do that. So, link in the description below for our Patreon.
But at this point, I think we should get us into some questions.
Yes, we're going to make this podcast really short here. But the gist of it, guys, is that this is our 50th podcast. It's a crazy milestone that we've had this much support on YouTube and stuff, and we're so thankful for you guys. And thank you so much for every sub, every person that leaves a comment and stuff, and or a question. So of course, leave questions in the comments down below, so we can answer them in the next podcast. Jacob, you ready for some questions?
I am ready for some questions.
All right. First question comes from Daw. Oh, Daw, you always ask such great questions. As you've made it clear that you're avid readers, will you ever do a bookshelf tour or something similar?
Hopefully.
Possibly.
When we get more of an established, setup for doing all that stuff, that's one of the things that we want to very much be able to do with you guys. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. That might be a good thing also for the Twitch potentially.
Yes.
So, Jacob, are you planning to traditionally publish or self-publish?
I am going to be self-publishing, and that is one of the things where having you guys support us is so huge because one of the reasons that people usually do traditional publishing is because marketing.
Yep.
And even though you have to do most of the marketing yourself, there's at least that sense of this is something that's official now, as opposed to just some random person saying, hey, I have this essentially glorified fan fiction that I wrote, will you buy it? But in this case, because you guys know how much we love stories, now I can actually be like, hey, yeah, guys, I made this thing, and I don't have to go to some company and convince them to say, hey,
to buy the book, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is a generic enough story that you'll be able to sell copies or, something like that. So, and it will be self-published, so there's a lot of complications that come with that, but that's what's going to be happening. I'm really excited. It has been a crazy journey.
Yeah, so shout out to this guy in the comments and encourage him in his journey of going beyond Plus Ultra self-publishing.
And tell all your friends and family about it. Buy tons of copies and just let it spread all over the universe.
And then it'll become a movie. And then you'll just be like, what have I done? Yeah. Next question is also from Dob. What are your thoughts on more classical literature? So...
like Shakespeare?
So, I don't know if this is considered classical literature because this was kind of a serialized newspaper thing, but I'm a really big fan of the original Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I would say that's classical literature in that it's not new by any sense of the word.
I am also... Okay, so... I really love a lot of the works of Jane Austen.
Ah, that's right.
I mean, Pride and Prejudice, call me basic, but that one's fantastic.
It's a pretty meta book, actually, when it comes down to getting into the details of it. It's really the author having a lot of fun with her own culture, at the time, but also kind of
and
giving a lot of meta commentary on
it's just the idea of it being sort of like a generic love story of the rich, dashing, brooding young man, and all that stuff. It's great, but
cool. So yeah, we love classical literature. I think that we could use a little bit more of it in our lives, though. But yeah,
anime isn't exactly classical.
Yeah, exactly. Final question from Dawes. What stories, if any, are you highly anticipating? Ooh.
Mine.
Yeah,
well, you
yours.
guys can all read it.
Yeah, I'm anticipating yours for sure.
Yeah, because you don't know much about it.
I'm anticipating that someone has been hyping up for me that there's this manga that's really big apparently, and it's getting adapted into an anime next year.
Oh yeah, is that the?
It's something Wonderland.
Wait.
No, it's not Wonderland.
No. Are you talking about the Viking one?
Is it? Well, Vinland Saga. That's the one you're talking about. But no, there's another one it's like Paradise something Wonderland. I think I'm getting mixed up with like Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah. Dead Man Wonderland is something very different.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. But I just heard really good things about it, and I'm looking forward to that. Next question's from Book Lover. Hey! Are you going to react to the RWBY Volume 5 soundtrack or no? We haven't really been that enthused to do it.
Yeah.
It's a thing that we could totally do, but I think it's one of those things where when we started doing Rooster Teeth content originally,
that was all the content we were doing.
And we had a lot more time. With RWBY stuff, there was a switch when Rooster Teeth started not being really as fine with reactions and stuff, and you would have to go through a bunch of hoops to jump through in order to get things unblocked and stuff. So with the music, I don't know if we will end up doing it. We could,
but I mean,
but it's not really a priority for us right now.
Yeah.
And also, I did like a lot of the songs in RWBY Volume 5, but comparatively to Volume 4...
Like, they didn't have a This Life Is Mine.
We were not nearly as excited as we were for Volume 4's soundtrack. So maybe that's got something to do with it.
That's probably the big reason for it,
Yeah. Also, following up question is, what are each of your favorite characters of Avatar: The Last Airbender? Oh, this is an easy answer.
We've answered this
we have the top 3 in order.
Yeah.
So mine is Iroh.
Right.
Zuko, and brain. Did I actually ever decide if it was between Toph or Sokka?
Did you?
I think it was Sokka.
Okay.
I think it was Sokka. No, it might have been Ty Lee, because I remember that...
Lee?
Well, this is the thing. What I remember coming up with was that I just decided I'm going to do my favorite 2 characters, and then my third one is going to be my favorite side character. And I wanted to say it was Ty Lee.
Gotcha.
But I think if I was actually being just like your top 3 favorite characters, I think it was Sokka.
Okay.
I do like Toph, but I chose Sokka because I love
my top 5 Airbender characters are Zuko, Iroh, because I mean, like, come on, and then Toph, Azula, Sokka.
Oh yeah. It's really funny how like Aang ends up getting thrown down.
Yeah, I mean he's a great character, but it's like, but
when you're surrounded by so many other good characters, it's hard. It's a rough life, buddy.
No, see, Aang just dodges that.
Yeah. He sidesteps that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's also a question from Book Lovers is, if you could have one anime weapon that you've seen suddenly be real, which one would you 2 like to be real? So which one would the both of us like to be real?
Oh, that's tough. Which one would you like to be real?
Yeah, let's answer it that way.
Mine is easy. Mine is like out Coco, like her minigun. call Ruby out an anime. No, I would want a handbag that turns into a minigun.
Yeah,
everyone would be like, "Why is this dude carrying around a handbag? That's so lame." Oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't really think about this. Can I consider the ODM gear to be a weapon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as long as I can actually use it without snapping my spine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Assuming you can use the thing, because ODM gear you could actually have like uses for in everyday life. Right. Whereas like, a collapsible minigun, it's cool, but like, when would you actually be able to use it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But ODM gear, like,
Robert E.O. Speedwagon asks, do you guys watch Western movies? If yes, which movies and directors are your favorites?
I love Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Joss Whedon doesn't really do Westerns primarily in terms of movies.
Yeah, okay, right.
When he says Western
not
movies.
U.S.,
not
Westerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silverado was great. I haven't seen enough Western movies. I really want to see, what's it? The one where it ends with them going out guns blazing.
That's all Western.
No. Okay. Okay.
They or a main character.
It's the two like bank robbers or whatever, and they're in the place, and there's like a literal army outside. And
that's a lot of Westerns.
And then no, and then it ends with them just coming out firing, and then it stops right there. It doesn't actually show them die.
Oh shoot! It's the, I forgot.
Yeah. That's the one I've always wanted to see.
Okay, so with Westerns, I generally don't like Westerns. I have basically a kind of a, like, you could almost say the guy in True Grit. Whichever version you want. I kind of prefer the John Wayne version, but kind of that kind of surly, kind of like, I'm kind of just like,
I'm the Yandere grandpa.
Yeah, I'm not
kick-ass weapons.
Yeah, but that kind of aspect is me about Westerns generally. Like, I don't have that kind of like, you're a Western, whatever.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah. There you go.
Always wanted to watch that one.
There's a lot of good Westerns out there. I don't have any specific directors that kind of speak to me or anything. But yeah, it's just generally not my thing. I hope this is your question and you're not asking about Western movies.
Like U.S.
Just
type.
U.S. kind of Europe. Just not... anime movies.
Well, if you were saying like not anime movies, who would, since you don't really care too much for Westerns, who would be like your favorite directors or like some of your favorite movies?
Christopher Nolan.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan doesn't make bad movies. Like,
did he do The Dark Knight Rises?
Yes. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just a mediocre movie.
Sure, yeah.
And even then, it wasn't really mediocre.
Right.
It just wasn't The Dark Knight.
It was,
or Batman Begins.
Right.
Right.
It didn't stand out.
That's the thing. He's making a superhero movie.
Yeah.
How good can it be, really?
I mean, but because it's Batman.
It doesn't mean anything. It's a superhero movie. Yeah, I think that Christopher Nolan is one of the best Western directors we have. He is so dedicated to his own kind of style and presentation. I can't really say much because I don't know as much about cinema behind the scenes as a whole. Mm-hmm. I know that there are others that are probably better than him, but I prefer his style a lot.
And of Joss Whedon movies, because you probably know, most of you probably recognize him from like superhero movies now, but I'm talking like Serenity. Well,
that's like the thing he's known the most for, Jacob.
Other than superhero stuff. Yeah. No, that's because he
into the actual barrel here.
No, because most of the stuff he does is usually like I'm not talking about like Cabin in the Woods. Like most of the stuff that he's known for, other than Serenity, is like TV shows and stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't, but yeah. Anyways.
All right. So we answered both questions. There we go. CRMG Sec asks, "What is the best thing about life for you?" Oh, wow. I would say connections. For me, it's the opportunity to basically interact and connect with people who I would have never had the opportunity to connect with if not for basically opportunities put in front of me. So, like, everyone I get to connect with on the Discord or just through online interaction and stuff just feels like such a blessing to me. Because I feel like that I am so neurotic and all over the place when it comes to like talking and interacting with people, in the real world, so to speak. It's something that I would never have ended up having the opportunity to have this many connections with people, and that's just literally the best thing about life right now for me.
Gotcha. For me, when I was pubertizing and just everything was like, what's the point of it all, right?
Pubertizing.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I basically came to the conclusion of okay, this is all just kind of a sandbox. Just sort of have to have fun with it, right? But eventually you're gonna die, right? And you can't take anything with you, and so how do you make your time here worth while, right? And the conclusion that I came to is kind of similar to the connection thing, but I'm not as much of a people person as you, so I basically just said, I want to exert my influence as best I can over this universe to make it better for other people, so that it has some sort of lasting effect when I'm gone. And the fact that we can actually do this feels like, oh my god, I'm actually kind of doing that, maybe in some very small way. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, dude. Yeah. I echo that. Rockja Crotch... I think they just tricked us into saying one of those names.
Tricked you.
Yeah.
Which has been the longest / heated argument you have had during a discussion.
See, this is the thing. They did not preface a YouTube discussion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get you the actual longest argument. The legendary one, guys. This is how you know you've gone too deep in the anime community. Jacob and I debated for 5 hours the difference between a 6 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10.
Specifically for SAO, the first core.
Yep.
Caleb was saying it was a 6. I'm like, no, it's a 7. And we went back, and literally just in the living room of our house. And people would just walk by and be like, you're still going at it? It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, guys. SAO is SAO is that kind of a show, you know?
Yeah.
Bringing families together.
Yep.
This was a long time ago, by the way. Queen. That's right. Because the X's are E's.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there a character in Haikyuu that you would like to know more about through their home life? Yes, I really want to get to know basically the 3 third-year boys. I can't say a single character. They're each for different reasons. I want to get to know Daichi because I feel like Daichi was the character that developed his earnestness and his confidence. Gotcha. And I feel like his size and his lack of volleyball skill comparatively, like, raw talent compared to the others, that he needed to develop that.
Sure.
And I think that Suga and Asahi kind of helped others give him the respect by showing their respect for him. I feel like Suga is one that's like exceptionally smart and really like quiet about it.
Okay.
And yet like he could totally be like a student of some other thing, but he chose volleyball because he wants friends.
Gotcha.
And I feel like Asahi is something completely different, where he was like maybe having some struggling with his studies and he needed camaraderie to help bolster his confidence, and it was in volleyball that he found out his identity as being someone that could be a very like, I don't know, just good boy. I don't know. So those 3 boys. For
me, it's a very basic answer. Hinata, yeah. Because he's the main character. It's his sort of, coming of age story. It's about all of them, but mainly it's about Hinata. And because of how much of an underdog he is, or at least was at the start of the series, and the fact that he isn't anymore, he really is just the little giant now,
right,
in his own way. That's something that I would love to see from the perspective of his family, since they've seen the journey that he's gone on more than anyone else on Karasuno.
True.
Right? So I would love to see their responses and their reactions as they're like, wow, he might actually get to go to nationals, or he actually has a team where he can play with them and be serious,
Totally.
That would be really cool to see.
That'd be really cool as well, yeah. Antonio Roja Cortez asks, how would you guys make a romance between a tsundere and a yandere interesting?
I want you to answer this first because I already know how I'd do it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, okay. So the yandere is an aggressor, generally. The tsundere is basically the passive aggressor. So what you do is you basically make them get frustrated with each other's type of aggressing, and they would end up in this really like weird place where the tsundere would be made to blush, just kind of give their tsundere blush. And the yandere and the tsundere would have this like moment after they'd been at each other, suddenly just having their universes just shatter in front of each other, and it would be this really sweet like vulnerable moment of them realizing that they can't ever break character like this with other people watching, so then they keep the secret together of that whole thing.
Gotcha.
And then they have a hidden romance where they continue to be at each other's throats and stuff.
Gotcha.
But it's actually something really sweet and stuff.
Things out.
Exactly. And they have more and more trouble keeping their romance hidden as the romance develops in the background. So they're unable to keep up the act. And that's how it would make it interesting.
That would be something I would definitely enjoy a lot more than what I'm about to recommend.
Oh, okay.
But I think this would make for an amazing story as well. So,
what's that?
Tsunderes, one of the ways that you can make them believable as people is that they were hurt previously, right? And that's why they erect the barriers.
Yeah.
Now, Yanderes, one of the things about Yanderes is that you don't necessarily realize they're a Yandere right up front.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the Yandere is pursuing the Tsundere in ways that could be seen as normal. The Tsundere eventually starts to warm up to them, starts to trust them and everything, and then when they get into the actual relationship and stuff, they start to realize, no, this isn't good.
Oh no.
And then basically they need to get out, they need to get away, and it would be this horrible, twisted, probably very depressing type of story. But
that doesn't sound like a romance at all.
No, it would be a romance, but it would be about a dysfunctional romance. But the thing is, it wouldn't be a dysfunctional romance at first. It would just be it would
You
develop
just want it to
later on.
end in dysfunction.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, my sounds way more interesting, but I think yours sounds terrifying.
It would be conflict that would be keeping the audience going. I didn't say it would be happy.
I guess, yeah.
But.
Next question is from Paula M. Have you ever done something you hadn't experienced before for the sake of the story, i.e., eating something your character would eat? Oh,
not really.
Not really.
I've tried to
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't try and become a character in the story, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like, ooh, Hinata really likes, those sweet buns or pork buns or whatever. It's like, yeah, sure, we'll go to a restaurant and try them or something, but it's not like we haven't done anything like that for the sake of the story.
Gotcha.
So, or at least I haven't. I don't.
I have at some points, but not really anything that's concretely different. It's just more like I'll try and change my lifestyle a bit to be like, oh, if this person is the disciplined type that wakes up early all the time, then I'll try and do that and see, what that does and things. What?
My first experience with fan fiction.
Wait.
It was for the sake of the story. Okay. I was interested in Avatar: The Last Airbender fan fiction a long time ago.
Okay.
Because I was interested in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So my first fan fiction I think that I ever actually read, because I remember I wrote Star Wars fan fiction before I knew that was called fan fiction.
Right.
But
me too, yeah.
I read Avatar: The Last Airbender AUs and stuff like that because I was interested in the characters and I liked the way certain people wrote certain characters. So that was done essentially for the sake of the story because I was realizing there's no more Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that sucks. Like, I had literally gone and found all the little mini side series books. I had watched all the chibi cartoons online. I had consumed every bit of media of it, and I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. I need more. So I literally turned to fan fiction because of that. So that kind of counts, right?
Sure. Yeah. I've done that too. Yeah.
Little Duck asks, what are some of your favorite songs that create vivid scenes or stories in your head, like soundtrack music?
Soundtrack music doesn't count. So that means no Lost My Pieces.
Oh.
Or Crone, I guess.
Okay. Wait a minute. So this is a song that is not tied to a visual piece of media.
Right.
Okay.
But it paints a story in your head. One that I will say is it's called oh crap. How am I forgetting this? It's a song by Thomas Bergerson. He's one of the Two Steps from Hell people, and he did another one that's like a 9-minute long song. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. I don't know why this is happening, but it's amazing, and it always makes me think of like a dragon fight, basically, like the whole hero's journey, going to fight the dragon. It's going well, it's going terribly. Getting back up and fighting again, and all that stuff. I think it might be Invincible or Impossible or I don't know. One of those sort of generic sounding names. But
sounds like a soundtrack song.
Well, but it's not a soundtrack song yet because they just make it, and then if people, it's a stock song that people can use for soundtracks if they want.
The thing is that the reason why I think certain songs are like this for me is not actually because I came to the realization that they bring up these vivid scenes or stories in my head. It's because they were tied to stories through AMVs.
Oh,
so
sure.
a lot of the songs that I end up actually gravitating towards a lot of the time end up being songs that were utilized in AMVs.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite playlists to listen to is just songs that I discovered through AMVs.
Right, like the song Bohemian Rhapsody.
Sure.
Is one of the ones out there that's just you can't not see the story going on through the music itself. But I've seen an AMV that really well done captures
it's with Gurren Lagann.
The essence of that of that song as well.
One of my other favorite ones is Little Wonders. There's an amazing Usugi Drop AMV with that song, and now whenever it's to the point where I feel like the song is one of those songs though where the AMV unlocked to that, it made me pay attention to it. But even if I listened to the song enough without the AMV, I would still just be crying somewhere thinking about family and stuff.
Aww.
So yeah,
that's sweet. Next question is from
Nikki Ronkainen.
Yes.
Hey Jacob, do you have any plans for a physical release of Battle Lines? If you do, would it be possible to purchase it internationally?
Good question.
Yes, I absolutely do have plans for physical release of Battle Lines. It actually will make things a little bit complicated because of self-publishing and the like and all that, because I'm actually going to be moving around the cases of books and all that stuff. But yes, absolutely. As for international, yes, but again, I'm self-publishing, so I don't know exactly how this works. I am pretty dang certain that there is a way that I can do it just fine. It might take a few extra hoops to jump through. So yes, but there could always be complications because I've never done this before. So
okay, so what you're saying is that the physical release will happen.
Yep. And the international release, I am 90 to 95% sure will happen.
Will most likely happen.
But there's always landmines and things you don't foresee and stuff like that pop up that can make these things difficult. So
final question is from Steel Ram. Do you know any great single father anime where the main character is the father? And if not, would you be interested in the concept? Jacob probably knows a bunch of these, but I don't really.
Yeah. Would you be interested in the concept?
I'm totally interested in the concept.
Here's two. I mentioned the Usugi Drop AMV.
Yeah, I thought that
Usugi
was
Drop is an amazing one. It's not an actual single father, but it's more of an adopted single father situation. It's really sweet. It's really amazing. It is an anime original, unfortunately, and it's only 11 episodes. But it's a great little compact story. It doesn't end really, but for the 11 episodes you get, it's great. And then the other one is Sweetness and Lightning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this one, I can't remember actually if it's 11, 12, or 13. It might be 11. I'm not sure.
I remember it's really short.
It's really short.
And it's apparently so very wholesome.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. It's amazing. It's so sweet because Sweetness and Lightning, right? Both of those anime are, basically anime that I would watch with my mother. And I actually have it at some point. Because they're just so sweet, so wholesome, and
cool.
Sweetness and Lightning was one of those ones where it was one of the first anime that I watched week to week, since Bleach.
Wow.
Since the Bleach days. So it holds a very special place in my heart.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your questions. There are a lot of good ones in here.
Yes.
A lot of good, tough questions, too.
Yeah.
So keep them coming. Send them here. Leave them in the comments.
Yep.
Yeah, and guys, if you want to, get the heads up on any other, things goings on in what we're doing and stuff, be sure to check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get into our Discord there by any level of support and chat directly with us and talk with us about just whatever.
Yeah.
And if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until the next podcast, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.